Welcome back to Monday Quilt Chat. How was your weekend? I had a great weekend. Productive and nice weather, no humidity, hence the straight hair. Usually when it starts getting just stupid humid around here, the straight hair just doesn't work. So that's why it's straight today and not curly as I have had it recently. So I worked on a couple things this weekend. The Sweetie Pie Jolly Bar quilt that I talked about last week. I've got some borders on that. I still have to put 2 more borders on it, I've decided. So it's getting brighter. That was the one that kind of looked a little bit on the dull side. So I decided to get some fabric out that pulled out some of that coral and that bright green, and you know, just kind of brightened it up some. So I'm going to leave that as a surprise for Friday, so because surely I will have that all put together, at least the quilt top, by Friday, so I have something to show you guys. Also, I'm on my 4th FPP heart, the twisting spiral heart that we've been doing on Wednesdays. I have actually just a half left to do, and I'll have my 4 hearts, and I've got some cool ideas for a border around that and making that into a wall hanging / table topper, whatever. So I've just enjoyed this foundation paper piecing so much. I just can't believe how much I've just kind of been drawn to it this time. I know I've mentioned before how that, you know, the first and only project I ever did, which was a table runner, it was an apple leaf type thing. It turned out great, but I thought, I don't think I'm going to do any more of these. But this time around, I've had a really good time. So that's what I'm doing today, is I'm going to go ahead and finish that other half up of the last 4th heart and start working on some design for the finishing of that. So let's see, I actually made a list this time of things I wanted to talk about. Usually I just kind of do everything off the cuff, which, you know, that's authentic me. If you know me, that's how I roll. So it doesn't hurt once in a while to have a little bit of structure to a video. So I'm just gonna go down through my list here. I might as well just go ahead and put in my calendar for this week what I'm planning on getting done. I was looking at my personal calendar, and the only outside appointment I have is I have to drop a friend's dog off to the groomer while she's out of town and pick him up later in the day, and that is on Wednesday. So I'm definitely gonna put myself a written note down here so that I'm not out here sewing on Wednesday and forget the dog. That wouldn't be good, would it? By the way, I've been dog sitting my brother's dog this past week, and that's been an adventure with him and Blue together. They're not the best of friends, but honestly I think Blue kind of hated to see him go once he went on Sunday. So that was amazing that I got as much done as I did with that going on, because, you know, with 2 dogs you need to pay a lot more attention to going outside and making sure everybody's fed, more so than just with your own dog, right? So I was in and out from up here at the she shed through the week, but I did accomplish a lot. You saw that I got the red and white quilt bound and the label on. You saw that on Friday. So I got that done. I got a 3rd heart done, and I worked a lot on the Jolly Bar quilt. So very productive week last week. I'm happy with what took place last week, and especially the 2 hours that I stuck with it on the Happy Days project. So I'm going to do that again this week. I'm going to assign myself 2 hours to work on Happy Days, and I'm just going to stick with it until I get as much done as I can. And if I have to do another 2-hour session and another 2-hour session each week, then I'll eventually get caught up. I have confidence in myself. So today I'm going to finish that other half of the heart, and I'm going to stick that on there. and also work on some finishing ideas. So I'm going to stick that on here. And then let's see, that takes us about down to Wednesday. And let's see, that's the dog groomer day. So I think I'll put down for that the some little bit more on the FPP heart project. And then I've also been commissioned to do a quilt for a friend whose daughter loves horses. She loves horses, she loves pink, and she loves flowers. So that's why I was asking for a horse panel idea on Facebook, on the Facebook group the other day, or maybe that was on another Facebook group. Either way, horse panels. I'm just not really finding out there anywhere, on Etsy, anywhere, a horse panel that I really want to use. So if any of you have horse panels in your stash and you want to email me a picture of what you have, and if you're willing to part with it, think you may never really do anything with it, or maybe you don't like it as much as you thought, email me a picture and I'll purchase it from you, or we can trade some fabric, something along that line. Yeah, I need to get into that more seriously this week, as far as, you know, really pulling together what fabrics I want to use with that. It's not a huge time constraint on it. I told her 4 to 6 weeks, so, and it would be twin size. So I think I can actually accomplish that in that amount of time if I can get my planning done this week. So on Thursday I'm going to put horse quilt planning and kind of get that finalized with her, what we're going to do. I'm also going to put up to have finished the Jolly Bar quilt. Should be no problem. I just need to attach some borders. So I'll finish that on Thursday, and then we'll leave Friday and Saturday, because that worked good last week when I left Friday and Saturday. I could go back and kind of journal what I did get done on Friday and Saturday, and yeah, that made me feel good to write that down, that I got those things accomplished. Here is the quilt of the week. It's called The Rose of Sharon. And I think I'm going to put actually a photo of this up on the screen so that you can see it while I'm talking about it. This is a 70 inch by 70 inch quilt by Irene Caesar of Plainfield, Wisconsin. It says hand applique was the perfect project for Irene as she traveled south for the winter. The pattern, inspired by winning designs from an EQ6 challenge, was amazing. Only 3 different shapes were needed for the entire quilt, and all of the designs include only 3 shapes. The ovals, circles, and scallops were featured in many different sizes and colors to create all 13 blocks. Irene mixed batik fabrics with floral prints. She did her own free motion machine quilting specific to each applique design. The quilt won the Best of Show award at the Pine Tree Needlers Show in Wautoma, Wisconsin, and a first place award at the Golden Needle Quilt Show in Almond, Wisconsin. So only 3 shapes were used for all of those different blocks. That was the EQ6 challenge. Very nice job. And look at all of those feathers that she quilted and individually quilted each block. I almost took my fingers to, like you do on your iPad, to make it bigger because I wanted to see that the little inset thing that here that shows the quilting a little bit better is still not quite, I'm still not quite able to see all the details she has in there behind all of those shapes, the applique pieces that she applied on there. So very, very beautiful and prize winning. One of these days, will I have a prize winning quilt? I don't know. I just gotta keep going. I just gotta keep going. I'm not super motivated to have a prize-winning quilt, but maybe one of these days I will. Okay, so that's got my week going here. Set that aside. This coming Wednesday's video, I have never done an Ask Me Anything video. So starting today, all of you who see this video, this is Monday the 21st, I think, of August 2023. I will have the video ready this coming Wednesday, which would be the 24th. I hope I have those dates right. Let me look. Yes, the 21st. Today is August 21st, 2023. So from now until the end of Tuesday, that's only 2 days, send me your questions. You can put them in the comments. You can put them on the Facebook group. I'll make a post there that you can put questions underneath there, or you can send me an email, and there's no limit on what you can ask. I may not answer all of them, or I may not have an answer for all of them, or there may be so many there just won't be enough time to consider all of your questions. But send me a question and we'll have a big question and answer Ask Me Anything video on Wednesday. I think that'll be fun, don't you? I'm kind of an open book. I've told you a lot about my life, but ask me anything. It could be personal, business, sewing, quilting, trips, pets, whatever you want to ask me, favorites, whatever, ask me. It should be fun. Okay, let's see, what else do I have on my list here? Oh, I got some fabric in. Let me grab that. Okay, if you guys are So Yeah Quilting Company shoppers, you know that Balthazar's Bazaar is going on this month. Every day there are flash sales except for Sunday, and then their regular D-stash on Saturday and new stash on Tuesday. So no doubt many of us by now have empty pockets because we've been taking advantage of the sales. I got some stuff in finally. They're a little slow on their shipping right now because of all of those sales. So I did get one shipment in, and this was the Jason, I'm going to have to look now. In the Beginning Fabrics, Jason Yenter. I kept wanting to say winter. Jason Yenter. And these are the 3 fabrics that I got. Aren't those pretty? I love these. I think these would make really good background fabrics. Not backings, but backgrounds. Well, they'd make good backings too. But look at how all the light jumps off of that. Especially this one. Look at this one. This one's really cool. Wouldn't this make a gorgeous fall quilt? See all the light jumping off of that? Very pretty. It almost looks like batik, but deeper, like very, very, very rich. I got 2-yard cuts of these. They had this in many, many colors. But I find that yes, you can buy those 1-yard bundles from them and, you know, make a 3-yard quilt or, you know, make some smaller projects. But it's kind of hard really to make a full quilt with 3 1-yard cuts. I mean, you're just going to have to add something else to it outside the line, which is, yeah, we do that. Or, you know, you're just only going to be limited to small projects. So I've been buying bigger quantities from the yardage. So when they show the bundles, they show those first. The 1-yard bundles, they'll do the 1-yard bundles, half-yard, and fat quarter. But I find that if I wait for the yardage that's left, then I can get bigger cuts. And bigger cuts can result in obviously bigger projects, and you know, like I can take one of these and actually have enough to use for the background of a quilt pattern. So I'm kind of tending more to do that than buy the smaller cuts myself. And something that I know that they're doing recently is they circle back around on the new stash and the D stash, especially the new stash. They'll circle back around, so the things that they were selling right at the beginning of the show that didn't sell out, they'll show them again, which is a genius idea because so many of us don't get on right in the beginning and we miss some stuff, and sometimes there's not as many people on in the beginning, so there's some left over. Whereas, you know, sometimes with certain lines that come up, it just really can sell out fast. So, you know, you can't even get yardage in some cases, but on some of them you can. So I kind of like to see the full line that they show at the beginning, and then kind of pick out what of 2 or more yards do I want of out of those, which ones do I want to get yardage, and not just get a bundle that someone else has put together. Their bundles are great most of the time, but I don't know, I'm kind of getting a little more picky about what I buy, because I don't know if you're like me, that's probably the main place I get stuff. So I just want to be a little more judicious with how I spend and what I'm getting, and making sure that it's things that I really want to use, and things that I really love, or things that I need, something I'm looking for someone, or something like that. So I don't know, something to think about. Maybe you can leave your opinion on that down below in the comment. But I've been buying with them for probably a little over a year, I would say. Maybe close to a year and a half I've been buying with them. And it's tempting to just buy up a bunch of fat quarters. They're cheap. Here's 3 fat quarters, $9.75 or $12 or something like that. 5 items and you get your shipping free. So it's easy to just tag on those fat quarter bundles, or those smaller cut pieces, but do you really do anything with those? So I mean, if you're a small craft sewer, yeah, that's a great deal. But for most of us that are doing full-size quilts, is it really practical to do that? So I don't know, my advice is just to think a little bit more about what you're buying. Are you buying it because, oh, that's pretty, I want a little bit of that? Well, yeah, if you see something pretty, you want a little bit of it, but is a little bit of it going to do you any good? Is it just going to sit somewhere and never get used because you don't have quite enough? End of story, end of rant. That wasn't a rant. But yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of how I'm going with it now. And on the D-stash, I have been buying more 5-yard cuts than anything, because I find that pieced together, those make perfectly fine backings for quilt. I mean, if you're not dead set on getting a 108 for a backing, 5-yard cut is pretty much going to get you a backing every time. The seam's not going to be that noticeable, and you can always put some piecing in the backing between the seams and just make it an interesting backing. So yeah, the 5-yard cuts, I kind of keep my eye out for new, not repeats that they have every week of the 5-yard cuts, but rather once I see some new ones, and sometimes they'll even say, we haven't had this one before, and I'll grab that one up. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing now. Just trying to be a little bit smarter with buying on the fabric front. Yesterday, I think on Saturday night, I think I did put in for one 5-yard cut. I didn't get it, but I did get some thread. So, and if I get one item and it's $20 and I pay the $5 shipping, so what? I spent $25 instead of $125. Trying to buy 5 things. So there again, don't let the free shipping draw you in too much either, unless you need the stuff you're getting. I wouldn't really bat an eye at $5 for shipping anymore. I mean, Missouri Star Quilts, I think they have, if you can buy $39, you get free shipping. Fat Quarter Shop, I think it might be more than that. I think it might be $100. A lot of them are $100. So I mean, you're going to pay $8 or more for shipping at those places, and you still have to buy up to a certain amount dollar-wise. So something to think about. I just keep going on and on about it, don't I? Okay, enough on that. Some other purchases that haven't come in yet. I have plenty more coming from So Yeah, but don't forget your other quilt shops too. Quilt in a Day, Missouri Star, Fat Quarter Shop, and there's hundreds more out there. So if you go on Etsy, a lot of shops have their shops on Etsy. It's not necessarily just an Etsy shop, but a quilt shop might have items on Etsy, and then that leads you into their shop. So there are a lot of shops out there that have some great sales. You get on their list, on their email list, and you get their sales. So a lot of times you can find things just as inexpensive as So Yeah or more in other places, but of course you have to know about it. So That's the only thing. That's the only bad thing. You have to get an email every so often advertising those things. But if you sew a lot like I do, then you know you have a need. One thing I found, I think it was Sunday, an email was sent from Quilt in a Day, and there was a package of 100 foundation paper piecing papers for $9 and something. It's a different brand. It is Carol Doakes. Have any of you used Carol Doakes foundation paper? If you have, let me know. And I don't know, I'll be getting it here in a week or so, and I'll be able to try it out. But for $9, I think it was $9.32. For that much, I can afford to maybe, you know, try it out. The last ones I have, these ones I have been using, I really like, was June Tailor. So I know I like it, but it's pretty expensive, in my opinion. I think I paid $18, or was it $11? But for only 25 sheets. I've already used all of it except for 2 sheets. So yeah, and that's coming. And then I also wanted to show you another thing. I don't know if you get emails from C&T Publishing. Now, a while back, Martingale went out of business. That's the craft book people. So some books got picked up by C&T Publishing, and then that is probably pretty much the only craft book publisher there is now. So if any new books come out, it's coming from there. So you want to get on their mailing list. Well, I got a thing from them, and there's a new book coming out, and I want to give you all a heads up because I ordered this book. It's a pre-order, as a matter of fact. I ordered this book without even thinking twice about it. Let me see if I can find it. It's called 60 Fabulous Paper-Pieced Stars, 2nd edition. Includes 10 new national parks blocks. So here's the book. It's the pre-order is $29.95, and this is C&T Publishing. So it's ctpub.com, ctpub.com. So I have pre-ordered that book. I don't know. I just feel like that's going to get bought up. So remember what happened with the Barnstar sampler book? Yeah, we don't want that to happen again, do we? We don't want to have to be waiting for our books when these sew-alongs start. So I don't know if there will be a sew-along for that. Maybe I'll start one. Are y'all interested in a National Parks Blocks Paper-Pieced Stars sew-along? You'll have to buy this book. I'd definitely be willing to do it if you want to get it. I'll try to put a picture up here so you can see that close up. ctpub.com. Yeah. Pat Sloan is kind of advocating for them now. They picked up some of her books, and that'll probably be obviously her publisher from now on if she publishes any more books. I saw a video of hers come out for them. The video was made for them, and it was on this website when I went to order my book. Now, she didn't say anything about that book. I don't know. She might be doing it. She might not. I kind of doubt it. Foundation paper piecing 60 blocks is pretty darn ambitious. I might have to, for a sew-along, I might have to pick out 12 blocks or 10 blocks or something like that. 10 wouldn't make any sense, would it? Maybe 9 blocks at the least. And we could do those together. See what you all think about that. If you want to get the book, go on and get it. If enough of you are interested in a sew-along, then we'll do that together. I think that'd be great. I'm excited about getting that book. It doesn't come out until sometime in September, so you can pre-order it now. Let's see what else. Oh, I didn't finish showing you my fabric. Okay, so I showed you those 3, and then I also got these 2 from Clothworks. Now, I did just get 1 yard each of these from the yardage that was left over that they had. I didn't care for the other prints that were in this line. This is called, but I love these daisies, Cluck Cluck Bloom by Teresa Magnuson. That one's cut off. Clothworks. Cluck Cluck Bloom. Yeah, I think the other ones had chickens on them, and I didn't want chickens, but I liked this. I thought this looked retro-y and would make a cute bag or something, or maybe, I don't know, some kitchen items or something like that. So there again, instead of buying a 3-yard bundle that would have included something I didn't like, or maybe 2 I didn't like, I got the yardage that I wanted, 1 yard, in the colors that I did like. So, you know, there's always the risk of not being able to get in on what you want want, or sometimes the internet's slow and your number just doesn't get recorded very fast and you miss out on it. It sells out. But still, I think it's worth it to buy stuff you think you'll really use in cuts the size that you need, instead of just buying just because everybody's buying. That's what I think, and there went my add a quarter ruler. So, what else? September. Let's talk about September. Doesn't September also kind of feel like a cleansing month, kind of like January is? And I'm not talking about cleaning. We'll do cleaning in December. Cleaning, no, cleansing. Like the summer is over, or all the activities of summer is over, the vacations are over, and it's time to get ready for fall and those winter projects you want to work on, right? But you've got a lot of stuff hanging around still. A lot of stuff hanging around. So I'm going to propose a no-buy challenge for September. That means don't buy any new fabric in September. Now, if you're in the middle of a project and you need another yard of something, or you need a spool of thread or a notion of some kind to finish, yes. Or even notions don't count. Let's just say notions, stabilizers don't count. I wouldn't put on there anything expensive unless your iron goes out or your sewing machine just bit the dust. You know, those are kind of have-to items. But no, I would just make it fabric. No more new fabric for new projects. We're going to use our stash for September, and each week I'm going to provide you with a small project that you can use up your stash with. And it could be an opportunity for you to make gifts, kind of get ahead on some gift making, to have in your, what do I want to say? You know how you always want to be able to just pull out a gift and go? Because, you know, the stuff we make takes time to make. Sometimes you need a gift like right now. And so, you know, you can make one of whatever it is for that week, or you can make a whole bunch. So that's what I'm going to do. Each week we're going to have a new project to do for that week, and you can make as little or as many of those as you want. The idea is to not buy any new fabric and use only what you have. So I haven't done one of those for a while. I think I had no buy January, didn't I? So we've been buying fabric for 9 months now. It's time to use some of it. So no buy stash, what am I calling it? No buy September stash challenge. That's a mouthful, isn't it? I'll kind of have to get that rolling off the tongue a little better as I talk about it for the next little bit. But it's coming up though. So today's the 21st. So what are we talking, 10 days? You got 10 days to prepare yourself. Pull out that stuff, see what you've got, see what you need to get going with, and work on those things, and not buy new projects, no new kits, no new yardage, only the stuff you have. That's what I'm gonna do, and I challenge you to do it too. So I think that's all of the things on my list, and all of the things that I can think of at the moment that I want to share with you. So it's Monday, so let's get going on the things we have to do and make it be a productive week with something finished on Friday. And we'll see you right back here on Wednesday for the Ask Me Anything video. So be sure and put your questions down in the comments on the Facebook group, or send me an email, whichever you're the most comfortable with. And if you prefer to be anonymous, you might want to send me an email. But otherwise, I might be mentioning who asked this question. All right, so look forward to that. I know I'm looking forward to it, and I will see you back here on Wednesday. And for now, have a great week. All right, bye-bye.